Here I want to talk about naming the pattern and how the justice system names the person's record to decide whose life is worth grieving and whose death is explainable. So some key facts I want to ground for the video, and I did. I'm talking from the research this time I've done. I made a mistake when I first put the video out, looking at the comments on the ICU nurse, and somebody put in there, "Oh, he's a combat veteran," and that's what I get for not doing my own homework. But actually, I did before I put combat veteran on there. I did look it up, but I was sleepy, and I asked AI, gave me a whole long drawn out thing, and at the bottom, all the way at the bottom, when I woke up, I realized it says he did not serve. He was not a veteran. I was like, man, okay, all right. So I have to be more careful and pay attention and just don't do nothing while I am sleepy, or get to the point of hiring someone else to help me out with doing my research and stuff like that. But so key facts in this video is that the recent one, Alex Jeffrey Preddy, was a 37-year-old VA ICU nurse in Minneapolis. I'm going somewhere with this. Who was shot and killed by a federal border patrol agent during a immigration operation. So court and state records cited in news reports said he had no criminal record, with only minor traffic violations on his history. And that struck something inside of me, because it's like, are you saying who deserves to get justice and who deserves to die? And so when you look at a criminal record and say, oh, it's okay to kill him, they had minor traffic violations, or if they've smoked weed, or they've had domestic violence situations, or they things of that nature. So it tells me, why even have a judicial system where you rehabilitate people, or there is de-escalation tactics and things of that nature. And it's like, what are you here for? So it sounds like there should not be a justice system to me. If you're deciding, the world is deciding who gets to die by the sword or something like that. So that's his case here, the first one I read. And now it's like in Sandra Bland's case, officials repeatedly highlighted that she had marijuana in her system when she died in a Texas jail after a traffic stop, even though that did not explain why she was jailed or how the jail failed to keep her safe. Again, my thing is, why do we have a justice system if society says you get to die when we say it's okay to kill you, and give reasons for that? I don't know. Researchers and journalism groups have documented how media often foreground a black victim's alleged criminal record or drug use after police violence, which shapes public opinion and subtly justifies the killing. That's what I'm trying to say right there, is what I'm reading that they wrote here. So if a clean record is used to prove someone didn't deserve to die, then by implication, anyone with a record treated as if their death is less tragic or more acceptable. So here I ask, if a criminal record means you can be executed on the street or in a cell, then what is the point of having courts, prisons, and a system that claims to rehabilitate people? So with Alex Preddy's headlines stress no criminal record, just traffic tickets. With Sandra Bland, officials and reports highlighted marijuana in her system during coverage of her death in custody. With George Floyd, misinformation and constant focus on his past charges were used to distract from the fact that an officer knelt on his neck for about 9 minutes. I'm going to call out record washing as violence. Bringing up old arrest or alleged drug use after someone is killed is a way to put them on trial instead of the system that killed them. That's deep right there, okay? If their past didn't pose a threat at that moment, it should not be a part of the story of why they died. So I asked for the who, what, when, why, where, and how breakdown. The who, Black Americans and other marginalized people, but also cases like Alex Preddy that show the system's power can reach anyone. The what? A pattern of law enforcement and media using criminal records or character details to justify lethal force after the fact. When, where? Traffic stops, protests, jails, immigration raids, everyday points of contact with the state. The how? Through press conferences, leaks about a victim's history, and headlines that emphasize their record more than the officer's actions or the policies that allowed it. Why? To protect institutions, avoid accountability, and feed stereotypes that some people are inherently criminal. That's another one right there. So possible solutions I asked for as well, which can move from critique to what now? One would be demand media standards that only mention a victim's record if it directly explains what happened in that incident, and that also report on officers' records of complaints and force. The next one would be to push for independent investigations and databases on police misconduct and use of force, not just on civilian crime. The next one will be call for legal limits on when law enforcement can release background information about someone who has just been killed. And with that, I would like to add, when you go ahead and release stuff and you have the legal limit to not release it because of ABCD, and you go against that, what are the ramifications for that? How can one be held accountable for that? If not, squash all the shit. The next one is emphasize community memory. Say their names. Tell who they really were. Nurses, parents, workers, students, so they're not reduced to a rap sheet or a toxicology report. And that's where I'd like to leave that today. Thank you.